Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me now? Dun, dun. Schmelly. I was about to call you Schmelly Melly. Don't know why. Let me take that off real quick. All right, the good thing is we get to just kind of chill in here tonight. Kind of digging this. And like I said, it uploads to Patreon, and Patreon get to check it out after, which is good for me. It means I don't have to do any editing. Okay, we're doing some more winter scenes. We're gonna have fun with it. I want to see if I can get the chat up on my screen here. I do have one piece of that like really thick. Take showers every day. I got one piece of that 300-pound cold press left, so I'm probably gonna try that one out. I feel like that one's got a really good texture. Stop it, you lie. You lie like a rogue. I really am curious if the heart button brings more people in here. I'm not sure. I'm never sure about things. All right, some more trees, some more winter. Sue, how are you? I like this format a lot. Maybe not a lot better, because I do like my music, but I like this format. You're able to see kind of how I mix. Because that's really hard to explain in videos sometimes. Like, really hard to explain. I mix a lot by feel. Like, I just know the colors that I'm gonna run to. And leaning things certain ways is kind of hard too. Wait, is that Australian suit? That's Australian suit, right? Australian for Sue. Okay, so 300-pound paper, Schminka paints. I'm gonna pick like 3 primaries and a brown, and we're gonna roll with it. Okay, just making sure, because we got like 2 or 3 Sues now around. This is Arches, 300-pound, damn near heavy cardstock stuff. Lori! Terry, how are you? Laurie, I was thinking about this the other day. We've got a few Louisiana artists now. We need to do some little get-togethers and paint. What do you feel about that? Damn it, I forgot to post on YouTube that I was going live on YouTube. There's a lot to keep up with now, especially with Facebook kind of popping off a little bit. I'm trying to get that side of it going, because I swore I was never going to grow on Facebook. And then ever since I can share to Facebook now, I've been growing pretty good. So now it's like another avenue, I guess, to get new folks. Not mad about it at all. Like, that was a bane of my existence for a while. All right, let's do some quick sketches. It's gonna be some long trees for the most part. Feel envious? Why? Me. All right, this is gonna be like kind of a hill here. It's gonna be a suggested hill for the most part. Why are you envious? It literally took me 3 years to grow at all on this damn side. Just kind of want them in the direction they're going to be in. I'll play around a lot. I think so too. I think it'd be a hell of a lot of fun. Like, maybe we just meet up at Monkus one day and paint. I'm down with that. Or we can get like a little watercolor group. There's got to be more of us out there. We're going to have to work on that. Mel, I didn't want to ask you this, but I kind of want to ask you this. How do you feel knowing that I get to meet the Germans before I get to meet you? It's heartbreaking. You're in the States. trying to think too. I think Laurie might be my. I'm moving then. Hell yeah. I need to. Where was I going with this? I don't remember anymore. And then the Aussies too. Aussie, 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 Aussie. Pretty close to them. Some little far out guys over here. Where's the finger emoji? Which one? Is the music too loud on here? Gotta kind of jam it because it's jazz music. Bum, 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 bum. I just rub. Hey, this isn't TikTok, Mel. All right, so like I said, the goal here is to pick 3 primaries and a brown. We could mix a brown, but I don't want something really nasty. I think I'm gonna go with the orange the chromium orange for my yellow. I think I'm gonna go Prussian blue for my blue. And then I kind of want to go with like a cooler red too. What's up, Fanny? You made it in? What's up, Shannon? We're doing more trees. Can only open it from Patreon? Really? That's strange. All right, so our primaries. We are gonna do Prussian. How do you know a cool red from a warm one? So the warm ones will lean a little bit orange. What's up, Dawn? How are you? Sorry, just connecting now. Definitely down to paint with some Louisiana folks. Let's go. I'm down. Liz, we got the crew together. Let's go. All right, so yeah, warm red's gonna lean a little bit more orange. What's up, Jen? How are you? A cooler red is gonna lean more purple. So there's some reds that kind of tote the line of it. But if it looks like it's more fire truck than it is like a lipstick, fire truck is warm. That's about the closest red you're gonna get to like a cool that is a warm. All right, let's grab that orange. I need to clean this pan out anyways. That's gonna be our yellow. And if you wanna know about yellows, like warm or cool yellows, if they lean green, that's more of a cool yellow. If they lean orange, that's a warm, because it's leaning more red, right? Let's keep this display on and put the charger going so I can record some stuff every once in a while, since you guys never remind me. Jen, is this your first live here? I don't think it is, huh? Make yourself at home and embarrass yourself and all the good stuff. That's what we do here. Yeah, I could say tomatoes would probably be close. There's some cooler looking tomatoes, but yeah, most of the time they're gonna be warm. Yeah, if you're new here, introduce yourself, please. We're gonna go Prussian for our blue. Genteeler, you never gonna guess what I'm painting. Really embarrassed. You must be Cajun. Really should have pre-wet these pans a little bit. I'm only getting a little bit of color, so what we're gonna do is Spritz a little bit more. Some more activation here. I don't know about birds. If you're here, I might do birds. Every time you're in here, I want to do birds. This is going to be really pretty and bright. The only warmth we're really going to have in here is going to be that orange. And we're taking our time tonight. I'm not rushing this one. I want to kind of just chill out and hang out with you guys if you don't mind. There we go. Now we got some activation. These activate pretty quick once you put some water on them. Couple of gins, not sure if you met me, but it's first live. Yeah. And Jennifer Barron. Do you rather be called Jennifer or Jen? Me too, Shannon. Me too. All right, yeah, we're gonna go cool red. Let's go. This is, I don't remember which one this is. I always forget between the sets. I think this one's Permanent Carmine, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Permanent Carmine. Yeah, so the only warm thing we're gonna have in this is gonna be that orange and our brown. That sepia leans a little warm. But I'm gonna mix that sepia up with some of this trash I have on the palette already because I don't want to waste any more paint. What are you doing, Shannon? You busy? Yeah, it's like a pink. So it's more like a Quinn Rose almost. Maybe a little bit deeper than a Quinn Rose. A lot of brown here because we'll be mixing up a few things. How did you get that crown, Mel? Oh, you should have ordered out, Shannon. All right, we got some dirty water here, which is kind of what I wanted anyways. This is gonna be called reverse bokeh. I like this technique just because it seems to find a good pen to do this. Doo-doo. I think we might have to end up using this hot sauce tab. Not a big deal. Got some of that gator drool. That's what I'm using tonight. All right, Jen Barron, you're gonna have to be Jen 2. Or we call you Jen Barron. I'm cool with that too. Jen Teeler and Jen Barron. So this cap here is gonna serve as the sun for me. And what I'm gonna do is get a clean paper towel. Once I wet everything down, it's gonna be like a full wet and wet wash. But what I wanna do is lift a little bit of that water, dry like a circle of that paper. So I'm gonna wrap this pretty tight around here. And the second that we wet everything, what we're gonna do is kind of dry one spot. So you're gonna hold it down. It's gonna dry that one circle spot. So any paint we put around there should not go into that white. That's the hope, at least. Let's get the chunk out. Yeah, it's just a circular object. It's gonna be your best friend. Does it leave the napkin marks? No, it shouldn't, because it's all gonna be just water for now. This chunk has been seeing some work lately, so it's a little stiff. I want to get the paper good and soaked. I don't want any channels. No channels of water. No, not yet. Gets to that point, I'm in trouble. All right, so the whole paper's wet right now. I'm gonna take that flat spot. What I wanna do is just dry that one little spot here. I'm gonna press down pretty hard because I want the napkin to soak up a good bit of that water. So now I can see that spot, and what we can do is kind of go around there. Oh, I need to clean mine soon. All right, so where that circle is, I can kind of just go around, and you're gonna see that it doesn't go into that white area. Right? Pretty cool, right? Put on some flares out here. What I want to do is really kind of soften everything around here. I don't mind letting this yellow kind of bleed out a little bit. If you want to soften that white light, what you can do is take a clean paper towel and you can kind of wisp away from it. But the thing is, you want your paper dry, your brush to be pretty dry, and you want to go from the white out. So I'm going to lift a little bit here. And every time you see me leave the paper, I'm going back to my paper towel. That's kind of a big sun there, but we'll deal with it. Another little streak here. It works really good. There we go. We got some good lifting. So if you don't want to get any color in your white, you just lift away. If you don't like how bright that is, which I kind of don't, I'm going to soak in a little bit of water here. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted. I'll just kind of go around it. Is it focusing all crazy? Tell me if it keeps doing it, Mel. A little bit more. That orange light back. Okay, so it's not doing it when I'm painting. Okay, I'll keep the paper towel out of the frame. There we go. It's a little bit better there. Very good. Yeah, I just call it reverse bokeh, basically. Is that working? I feel like it's still focusing in. How can I not get it to do that? Would it help if the camera's higher? All right, y'all bear with me for a second. All right, y'all can't see my toes, right? Sorry, Mel. That probably got you sick too. This should be better, right? No more focusing. All right, so my paper's drying. I do need to get some blue down on here. I'm actually going to mix a little bit of that red into this blue and create kind of a purple. And I want to just kind of come in here and throw some water in here. So super light. This is kind of like a background wash. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we're figuring all this out on the go for the most part. We've got our trees here, so while this is wet, we can kind of get away with doing our shadows too. So these smaller trees back here, we will put those two together again. This could be our most dark shadows here. Skinny into.
All right, see if that works.
Gotta love the internet. We're back. So the last time I think I ended the live and then tried to come back to it. This time, just close out the app and let it do whatever it wants to do. Sweet. Sorry about that. In the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, internet, always the best. So all I did was kind of build my shadows here. Actually, while it's still wet, I might get a little bit more. This paper kind of takes forever to dry. We could throw in some of that brown, that sepia into that blue. Kind of a blue brown here. We could throw in this tree. Good thing is we got a little drawing going there, so that looks kind of cool actually. Maybe a little bit more brown leaning. It's really wet actually. Setting some of those background trees up a little bit. Dawn, this is the silver blending quill, size 10. I like what that's doing there. I like that that dried a little bit on me. I'm not mad about it at all. Maybe a little bit of that orange. I can kind of get away with it. Maybe a little bit more orange. Just trying a little bit, but we'll grab some light from there. I'm keeping that gap there because I want the tree to kind of shine through, or at least the light to shine through a little bit. We got a little bit of red in there. All still wet and wet for the most part. I'm actually going to throw in some of that orange, watered down. Some of these tree spots here. Just try and get as much as I can done while it's wet. Looks like you're painting the pearly gates. You know, there's a painting, a reference that I wanted a long time ago. It was a dude walking up some stairs, kind of like into heaven-ish. I need to go back and revisit that one. At the time, I couldn't do it. Like, I know I couldn't do it. So, what I might do here is throw a little bit of drops of water and get some texture in this back. I am going to clean my water here in a second, too, though. Some white back here. Okay, leave that alone. Clean our water out. don't like how hard that sun is kind of setting, so I'm going to soften that back up with damp brush. It's a little better there. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Now let's dry what we got. Me too. That's why I like water a lot better than salt. I mean that. Certain pigments don't do it. And there's a certain drying time too. Yeah, totally agree, Mel. Totally agree. Water definitely looks more organic, more natural. I wonder if the music's not making the internet screw up. 'Cause it is on a website. It's slow as hell on the website. We're gonna use our liner brush now too. Kind of excited about that. That's usually how it goes, Fairy. I remember my first bloom that I liked. It was in a sky, and it was actually kind of these colors, like that purple and yellow. And I think I came across the paper. Have me sing, I'm down with it. I think I came across the paper with the brush, and it dropped off onto the paper, and I was doing the foreground, and I never noticed. What I'll do is go back to, we've got that other kind of hotel music. This one's kind of eerie anyway. Yeah, this is when it got creepy. Let's pause this guy. We'll go to, oh, who's in the kitchen? Hold on. This. This heavier paper does take longer to dry too. Anybody? Yeah, 100%. Paint dry with no music too. think Lila's trying to take over the kitchen echo. It's basically cardstock. That's what it feels like. It feels like straight cardstock. And I want it really dry. This is Arch's 300 pound. Oh yeah, I should have got the Johnny now for sure. No, Sue, you need to just get back into it. I think you'll be fine. Let me try one last thing for this music. Hopefully soon. When I get home, we gotta plan one. We need to plan one. Nocturnal? I don't know if this one will work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just keep going. I'm gonna restart Spotify and see if I can't get that back up. But I'm going with the liner brush. I'm gonna water down some brown mixes and some orange mixes. No, not Excel. Nothing wants to cooperate tonight. That's one good thing about TikTok. You kind of just jump on, throw on music, and go with it. Let's exit some of this stuff out. Might help. All right, so we got our brown mix. I'm gonna water that down a good bit. And we've got our orange mix, which I'm using a good bit of. We're gonna start from left to right because we're not silly. I do want to mix another purple, so I'm gonna take that permanent carmine, throw it over here with this blue. That'll be a good little mix shadow down there. Really water down on these trees back here. No real definition to this at all. Really watered down purple version of this. I think it's gonna seep into the trees a little bit. And all I'm doing here is just kind of suggesting the shadow. Maybe a little bit more watered down. These trees back here. Kind of far off. Jen, this is a size 1 Bell Aqua. The Bell Aquas are a little bit smaller than most brushes. So on most lines, this is probably like a 2, possibly. All right, we should be back. It should reconnect. So this is that watered down brown. Start putting some of these trees in here. And as I'm doing that brown, I'm gonna throw in some more of that watered down orange too. It's just my internet. We've got people out here, so that's probably why. Just really kind of watered down. A bit of a background tree there. This whole area is going to be wet for the most part. I'm going to start taking that blue. I'm going to show off a little bit of color here. A little light on the light side of this guy. We can take that blue and start pinching it into this tree. Now this one's still going to be wet, so we're going to get some good bleeds there too. Do you want to leave some white space in this tree? I'm letting the liner do a lot of the work. A little bit of water in there, let that kind of bleed out. Back to that watered down brown. Some more darks on this side. As it's still kind of wet on that blue, letting that brown have a little bit of fun. We can start throwing in a few of these lighter. A little bit darker on the brown here. We'll come back for the shadows in a second. Orange back here for another little background tree. Let that blue kind of bleed back in. I don't mind trees like this, I will say that. These trees are a lot more fun. Another guy here. This is that watered down brown. I don't want it as dark as this tree. I kind of wanted to come through that light a little bit. You don't want the same value in your browns. Otherwise it'll look like no trees are in the background. Get a few little branches off of here. Bum, bum, bum. A little bit more condensed on that brown, maybe a little bit of that Prussian blue to darken her up a little bit. Kind of want a thick paint here. A little more water. These liners do hold very little paint, but it kind of help you out too, because right now I'm going to try to use it to where it dry brushes towards the bottom here. And then small little branches off of this guy. All feel inspired. What has inspired lately? You guys have been pretty inspiring to me, if I'm being honest. Art-wise, it's normally just whatever comes to mind for me. like how hard that line is right there. We a little bit of brown into that orange, create kind of a burnt orange here, because some of these branches will see some light. Favorite 3 foods of all cooking dishes? Like all-time dishes or desserts? What are we going at? Give me some room to grow on that. I wonder if it's making me freeze up like that because of the quality. I'm gonna have to check the quality. All right, we got that orange there. I'm gonna take some cleaner orange. All right, dishes, if we're going dishes, if we're talking about life or death, if I had to choose some, God, that's so tough, man. There's so many good Cajun dishes that I just like can't live without. I do like ramen. I like really good ramen, not packaged ramen. A little brown here. Like anything noodles. I'm trying to think of what would be like the particular noodle dish. Ooh, spade too faded. Do you use roux or do you use cream of mushroom? I feel like I asked you this already. In like another live, did I? All right, so while that's kind of wet right there, I am gonna dab that out in the sun to where it's a little bit softer. Like that light shining through. Like we still got the paint there, but now the light's shining through a little bit. I gotta think on those dishes. Okay, that's a tough one. You hit me with a good one. I like a lot of food. Use neither, just flour for a light roux. Really? See, I use cream of mushroom. I've always been a cream of mushroom fan, but that's how I kind of grew up being for our A2 phase and whatnot. I'm throwing a little bit more atmosphere in here. It's a little bare, so a little bit of rough stuff back here, suggesting some more trees for the most part. Easy recipe with chicken stock. I don't think that's cheating. I think you're good on that one. I'll wash this out a little bit more while it's still kind of damp. All right, that's cool with me there. Let's go with another dark brown here. I'm gonna lean this one a little bit more Prussian blue. See, I feel like cream of mushroom is cheating. I definitely feel like that's cheating. But I like the flavor of it a lot. It's just that lighter orange coming through here. And we'll throw some more well-defined leaves here. Yeah, I like the richness of it, if I'm being honest. Got a few more little branches coming off this guy here. A little more into that brown. I don't want this heavy here. Just a few little sticks coming off of this guy. Get a little bit darker towards the bottom. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's actually fair. Little dark spots here. All right, now we got something going. More of that. What's up, Sherry? How are you, love? A bit more orange. What's up, Tara? Just more bright orange. This is kind of what we did with those other trees the other night. Give a little bit more light into them a little bit. What's good is we're going to take another dark tree down here, so this is going to kind of push this one back. All right, let's get that brown. This is going to be a fun part here. Really thick paint. Pretty solid tree for the most part. But you see how that dry brush is kind of helping me out a little bit? Maybe just go back and solidify that a little bit if you want. What I'm going to do up here is add in more Prussian. And we'll kind of drag in some more of that foreground of the tree. This kind of pushes this back into the foreground, away from these other trees. I think it's wrong. A few little twigs off of here. You gotta let this liner brush do its thing and just dance a little bit. Wiggle out. Do want this body a little bit thicker. Skinny tree. Got some good darks there. I'm gonna go back in with that Prussian. We're gonna kind of have fun with this spot right here. So more Prussian into this. I'm trying to leave a little bit of white space here. This is our tree that's kind of in the background. I'm gonna throw in some of that permanent carmine. And this should dry kind of funky looking, which is what I want. A little bit more blue. A little bit more red. Letting the colors mix on the paper a good bit. Erika. Drop some water in there. And they kind of play a little bit more too. Water that out. Maybe a little bit more purple to that blue. Some more of that pink to mix in. Very cool. Very cool. Back into that orange. Throw some like false shadows back here. Shadows are going to turn purple once they get down to the ground. That water kind of hitting that a little bit. Soften up some of those. So much peppermint in my hot cocoa that I have to close my eyes to drink it. Been there. He was cooking something with onions earlier and I could not see. I was crying the whole time. Alright, that's good for me. A bit more light shining on the ground. I want this kind of loose because I do want the texture. Don't want so much of the color. A little bit more over here. There's more of that light towards that tree. Okay, cool. Very cool. Back to that Prussian blue, permanent carmine. I'm gonna go with a bigger brush here in a second, but I do want to get these like smaller little shadows in here. It's gonna be for these little guys. So. Being very loose with this, suggesting shadows. That's all we're doing. Yeah, I'm liking this palette a lot, if I'm being honest. It's making me think a little bit different. A bit of water here. Soften some of those guys out. Get away with this big shadow here. All right, I'm gonna switch back to my big brush. And we're gonna go kind of bold on these guys. So more Prussian, more carmine. That's a little bit more red than the purple I just mixed for that. So I'm gonna put a little bit more blue. And that looks pretty close. We can kind of test it against it, it's fine. And then we'll start kind of grabbing these guys out a little bit. If you don't like how hard the edges are, you can always go back in and soften it back up with that damp brush. Have a little bit of fun with it if you want. Get a little bit tighter on these. And back into this guy a little bit more. Now everything here is still kind of wet from the trees. I'm just gonna have to kind of watch it. A little water here. Fade that out in certain spots. Only problem is I'm not mixing a whole ton. Hey, what's up, Angela? So I'm just getting close to that purple again. Again, this is a little too red because I'm not getting a whole lot of Prussian out of this pan right now. That's pretty close. It's a little bit darker, a little bit thicker. Let's fix that with some more water. What's up, Margaret? Margaret, the good thing about this one, it's gonna go straight to Patreon. So you won't even have to worry about me not remembering. Later, dude. Appreciate you coming out. Maybe a little bit of red in there. If y'all don't know it, Guy is Tommy in the Discord chat now. Little spots in here. Maybe a little bit stronger, that blue. Yeah. A bit of water here because we like to splatter. Might even throw some of that orange back in. So if you don't want this to make a green, don't screw with it too much. A couple strokes in there. it out. You don't want to keep messing with that blue and the yellow in the same breath, so I'm just going to soften it up a little bit here. Softness there. And maybe a little bit more Prussian. A little bit more carmine here. A few little dark spots. Maybe we'll soften this back shadow here. Kind of a damp brush and pull that back into the sky a little bit more. Fake some trees out there. This should dry pretty light, but just in case it doesn't, I'm just kind of peeling this off to suggest some trees. Thank you, Laurie. Let's dry what we got, and then we might go in there with some harder lines for a few things. I've been liking bigger shadows lately. I won't say I'm cheating my way out of a foreground, but I like the look of it. I'm going to put a little bit more definition on the trees too. Yes, very limited palette. So 4 colors. This is Prussian blue, permanent carmine, chromium orange, and sepia. That's kind of what we talked about the other night, Lori, how like you can get like 50,000 colors out of 3, you know? Let's get some darker darks in here. I'm gonna get that sepia back. This is still kind of dry here. I want that sepia and that Prussian, and what I'm trying to do is make me a little black here. Lots of sepia. True. Yeah, limited palette's where it's at, dude. What I want to do here is I don't want this to look like this line just comes out of nowhere and then stops in the middle of the tree. So I'm going to take my paper towel, a dry one. Where I go in with it, I kind of just want to soften that little edge up. I can do this with my finger if I'm being honest here, but just kind of brush it up a little bit. I'm going to keep some of those lighter trees though. I don't mind if this kind of scratches in between some of these branches here. kind of squeeze it a little bit. I might water this down a little bit and maybe get another tree in here because it feels kind of bare. We do have this guy towards the top. And dab that out just a little bit. And then we'll push one more trunk down here. And kind of lighten this guy up a little bit more. Yeah, fairy. One should be reconnecting. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I might have to wait and do these YouTube lives when I'm home. The internet, or at least when these people get off board. I feel like they're taking up a whole lot of internet right now for some reason. TikTok is pretty optimized for it. I'm gonna check the quality on YouTube too and make sure I'm not over streaming. I know, I agree, Margaret. I like this a lot better. I do like this a lot better. It's just the internet's just trash right now. But like I said, I'm gonna check the streaming quality and see if I can't turn that down, possibly. And if that works, I think we'll be all right. What's good about this one too, Margaret, like I said, this one goes straight to YouTube. So I really don't have to do nothing besides come talk with you guys and paint for a little bit. A little bit more of that cobalt. I'm sorry, cobalt Prussian. A little bit more permanent carmine. Remember, I want this to lean a little bit more blue than red. Take a little bit of that mix here. I do want to do a little bit skinnier of a shadow for these guys. I think we kind of lost this. The truth comes out, you love cobalt. That's why I'm glad Chelsea's not in this live. She would have ate my grits, dude. She posted that clap bag for the trees yesterday, and I fell asleep in my chair for a little while, so she was texting me, wondering if I was mad. I was like, no, I'm not mad, I just fell asleep. You're good, I promise. I couldn't have fell asleep in a better time, I promise you. She's funny, dude. I didn't mind M-Gram's cobalt, if I'm being honest. I just wish M-Gram's, man, I wish they traveled better. Kind of sucks, honestly, because I like those paints a lot. I just can't travel with them at all. Yeah, she's hilarious, dude. She was actually mad at me for my triangle tree post, and I was like, look, that thing's been like in trial rails for like 3 days. I swear to God I didn't do it because of you. Do any of y'all think I hate her? She said, she's like, dude, everybody's gonna think you hate me. It's like, no. I just loosen around a little bit here, a little bit more color in. I love M-Gram. I'm so sad. I can't care. I know. That's literally the only downside from them. Damn, about a little bit of this. It's a little tough. I wonder if I don't just travel with the tubes, you know? Like get one of those tube palettes. I know you've seen those, right? Like Sennelier has one. Water here. I like where this is at. Getting new ass after that new year. M-Gram's on the list. M-Gram's really fun. M-Gram's, They got some basic colors. They don't have like 1,000 colors, but their colors are strong. You can ask Mel. Mel likes them. I would definitely put them up there with Daniel Smith and well, Schminke. I'm still getting past the fact that Schminke feels expensive, so like it should be the best. But I'm really liking the paint so far, if I'm being honest. I wonder if I can't lift this a little bit. I hate the way that kind of rounded out on me. That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, don't get 48 colors from every brand. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. All right, what are we thinking about this guy? Are we done? As I add more, of course. I feel like we're done. Quinn Gold is a lot better than Schmika. I'm gonna check that one out. Yeah, so I do think there's ways to do trees that, and look, I talk a lot of shit on trees, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's because like some people have just made careers out of really cruddy trees. I'm not so much bitter as I am just like, man, like how do you paint the same trees over and over again? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Maybe a few more little sticks in here. But I like doing stuff like this. Like this is fun. Maybe a little bit of purple here. All right, I think we're done here. I think that is going to be it for me. I like this guy a lot. Your son looks stupid. What happened? He's pumpkin. Hey, dude, you learn a lot from pumpkins. You learn a lot from the pumpkins. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Did the reverse bokeh not work, Sue? Did it bleed in? Bam, 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 bam. All right, well, I appreciate you guys coming to hang out for a little bit. Like I said, I might try another one once the guys leave. I'll be on TikTok if I do go live, but if the extra guys that we have out here are gone in the next couple of days, I'm gonna jump on YouTube again. Because I do like the wide format. I do like that you can see my mix, and I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. We'll figure out the music thing too. All a work in progress. I'll see you guys soon. Later, nerds.